Hello, it's Beth Maitland again from Dramaqueenbee Quilt Studio, and we are on our road trip. So we are doing road trip ramblings. We're just thinking about quilts, and we're talking about all kinds of concepts and ideas, planning our holiday projects, finishing our holiday projects, talking about our favorite things. And I was kind of thinking about your process. Hold on, we're changing lanes. Safety first. I was kind of thinking about your process. I would like to describe to you what mine is like, and then I'd love for you to use the comment section below this video to tell me about yours. When I am, as a long arm quilter, when I am looking at a quilt top and looking at a project to begin to design the semi-custom or custom quilt designs that I'm going to use, I use a lot of factors when I'm plotting out whether it will be a feminine quilt, a swirly quilt, a masculine quilt, a whimsical quilt, a child's element quilt, whether I will use prints from the fabric to speak to the designs I choose. If it's a floral quilt, will I use floral designs in the long arm quilting? If it's a geometric quilt, will I use straight edges and random or even custom and angular ruler work to enhance the geometry that's already there? Or will I do the opposite and choose contrast? If it's a geometric very square and rigid shaped piecing in the quilt, will I then use some flowy, swirly, curly quilting designs to contrast to that, to actually make it a complement and have the swirls set off the piecing? And will I pick tiny, dense quilting that's micro quilting and really presses down that batting to highlight elements of the quilt? Or will I use a large, widespread, all over design that will make the quilt launder and wear and be softer? Instead of sometimes dense quilting that's really close together, there's a lot of thread buildup and a lot of pushed down batting. It makes the quilt a little stiffer, and it's a beautiful presentation for a wall hanging or a show quilt, but it doesn't work as well if all you want is for it to be a cuddly comfort quilt for watching TV. So all of these things, the who's going to receive the quilt. If it's a child's quilt or a baby quilt, it's going to receive a lot of washings and launderings, and a lot of use. It may get dirty, it may get stained. So do you want to pick colors of fabric and types of machines quilting designs that will hold it together and make it last a lot longer and be more ready for use, wear, and laundering, and not quite so delicate? So these are all factors that sort of speak to how you use the quilt top itself, or the project itself, or the fabric itself, to give you clues about how to design the long arm quilting and how exactly you're going to deal with blocks, sashing, borders, that sort of thing. Then I draw it out. I have about 20 spiral, plain paper, not lined notebooks all over my house, at my workstation, in my work backpack, in my car, and I sketch and sketch and sketch and sketch. If you can draw it, you can quilt it. And if you draw it and you feel like you're not an artist and you draw badly, trust me, when you get to the sewing machine, you're going to shock yourself. If you can draw the shape, when you sew it, it will be 300% better. And when you wash the quilt for the first time, and all of the stitches settle in, and the batting shrinks, and the top and backing shrink at different rates, and everything gets vintagey and crunchy and crumbly, and like your grandma's quilts from sleepovers at grandma's house in the summer when you were a kid, all of a sudden all of your little mistakes or imperfections in your designs fall away and the quilt becomes magnificent. So don't be shy. Take a chance and push yourself past your comfort zone. Make yourself try something, each new quilt, a little harder than the time before. and draw it out first. I can tell you that that has made so much difference for me. In the drawing process, I can work out little bugs that I can predict once I get to the quilter. Oh, you know, this is a print fabric and this design is pretty busy. It's gonna completely be lost in the print of the fabric. So I don't wanna waste my design elements. I'm gonna save it for a sashing or a piece of negative space that's a solid, or an area that is in the background behind a design that's more busy or more pieced, more densely pieced, because I want my design work to have the best impact. So sketching those things out and drawing them out in advance and practicing not only solidifies your muscle memory. If you're a sit-down quilter, your hands do the work. If you're a long arm quilter, your machine does the work. So in either case, drawing it gives you the muscle memory that once you put thread to fabric, it's going to be fantastic. So that's a little about my process. If you want to tell me something about yours, put it in the comments section below. And thank you so much for listening to my road trip ramblings. It's Beth Maitland from Dramaqueenbee Quilts.